people who doesn't feel like listening to me talk and just want to jump into seeing this game in action, go ahead and skip to this timestamp right here and just watch me fight Mateo. But please come back so you can see my full fight breakdown, including the game mechanics, realism, graphics, and whether or not I think you should buy it or wait until later. Oh my god, let's go. So it's finally here. The long sought after white whale of sequels, the thrill of the fight 2. As of today, it is in early access with a limited release, multiplayer only, but that is something that VR boxing fans have been clamoring for years now, because we have Creed Rise to Glory, which is fun, but kind of a janky mess, and the gameplay is often criticized because it's like an arcade style, and you get a lot of spammers. It's not really true VR boxing. And then you have Golden Gloves multiplayer. You're likely to have an experience that feels like you're fighting somebody in Facebook Horizon Worlds or whatever the fuck we're calling it now. And your opponent can basically three-piece his way to victory without you even realizing what happened. It's kind of bullshit. Oh, but Thrill of the Fight 2? Oh, baby. I had the whole weekend to play this game with a couple of buddies, and I'm here to tell you, they get it so right in so many ways. So just so you know, in this video, you're going to be watching me fight my fellow YouTuber, Mateo. Go subscribe to him if you haven't already. He's a really awesome YouTuber with lots of good videos. But let's start with customization, because before we even jump into the game, you have to customize your guy. You can be male or female, and most of the customizing is standard character creation. The eyes, the hair, the beard. You get the idea. You get to also choose your glove and shorts color. I go with Kelly Green because go birds. You have to do this before you jump into the game. So I try to make it look as close to me as possible, man boobs and all. Here's a glimpse from Mateo's side, so you can kind of see how my character looks from my opponent's perspective. It's not too bad, actually. It looks like they're going to be adding more customization features as well, because there's some coming soon stuff. But for now, it's basic, but the choices are plentiful. You can make yourself look like you. Speaking of that, the graphics are really great. They're a lot smoother than the original. It's early access, so it's missing a few things like a referee, a timer, and physical damage on your opponent. The only way to tell if you're damaging your opponent is that they get squintier. Like, there's no bruises or cuts or scrapes, but I'm sure that'll change in the near future as updates are released. There are currently 2 rings to choose from: the home gym during the day and the home gym at night. The gym at night has more of a fight feel with a crowd and some other noticeable details. The daytime gym feels more like you're training at a gym rather than being in an actual, like, legit boxing fight. So when Mateo and I jump into a fight, we fought for realsies. We got completely exhausted, and then he used one control style and I used another. So I have enough space in my room to move around and use the room scale option. So I went ahead and did that. I don't know what his setup is like, but he used the control stick style, which is kind of a nice change from the original Thrill of the Fight, where you always had to use room scale. And if you had a limited amount of space, you were always just kind of trapped in one spot, and it could be a little awkward. Sadly, it does still have that, like, you can't shift the ring to go from your perspective. Like, your corner is always in your corner, except for a couple times where it accidentally changed corners for me, but that's all right. It's not that big a deal. So if you have space, you can use the room scale, and if you're limited in space, you can circle with your controller. The cool thing about that is that you're always going to be facing your opponent, so no matter how you circle, it's going to move to where you're looking at them. Mateo was saying if he got a little VR motion sickness from it. I didn't try it, mostly just because I have the space and I wanted to go for that real boxing feel. So you'll have to check out his video to get more about that. Beyond that, though, you're really only limited to what your boxing skill is. We fought 5 2-minute rounds, and I can tell you right now that wearing a sweatshirt was the biggest mistake, because I was completely drenched after the first round, and it only got tougher. While the gameplay does feel a little similar to the original, it moves a lot better. I feel like the bob and weave works better than before, and I can utilize more boxing tactics like the rope-a-dope, the Philly shell. You can even tie up with your opponent to break up the action, but just know that if you're tied up, your opponent can still get punches in. I'm not sure like how much damage is being done, but it is noticeable. You'll see the orange flash. So I'm not sure what tying up actually does at the moment. If it disabled the other fighter or at least reduced the damage, I could see how that would be a win. But for now, I have no idea. I do love the fact that I can see my body in this. I'm no longer like a disembodied set of gloves and headgear. Already a win for me. So Mateo and I fought for some time, and we were both getting pretty exhausted. And the problem with this is that it's kind of hard to tell if you're actually doing damage on your opponent, especially since there are no bruises, cuts, or scrapes on them. We set out to see how hard it actually is to put your opponent down. So here's the unedited footage of me teeing off on Mateo until he goes down. And I'm not going to lie, it's tough. Okay. Okay. Oh, the crowd goes up. Oh my God. No, what? No wonder. I can't. I'm like doing everything. Oh my. Here, put your head forward like that. His face is amazing. I can't.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So yeah, you can see that it takes a lot of work to put your opponent face down on the mat. And again, it's still unclear how the damage works. Is it cumulative? Do I refresh after every round? But what is apparent is that once you get knocked down, it's way easier to keep getting knocked down. We found this out real quick. I also noticed that there are no one-punch knockouts, which is a great thing, but slightly unrealistic. It works for the game, but if you ever heard of like a puncher's chance, you know that anything is possible. Right now, though, you have to grind to win, and the more punches you land, the better. So I would recommend setting the rounds for 2 to 3 minutes with a minimum of 5 rounds. This will give you ample time to pace yourself and grind when you need to, and then just outwork them until they hit the mat. The workout is akin to the original, completely bonkers. It's one of the best workouts you can get in VR, still is, and even more so now because you get the added pressure of ranked matches, multiplayer, and the fact that your opponent is a real-life boy like Pinocchio. Different fighters bring different styles. Maybe one day you're fighting a point fighter that keeps his distance and like tries to land punches and then run away. And then maybe next time you're paired with a more Mexican style fighter that stays in the pocket and doesn't really give you room to breathe. Which brings me to the question that I'm sure you all have, which is, can you spam your way to victory? And honestly, I don't know. I think the fact that you can't get easy knockdowns will keep away a lot of the spammers. It takes a lot to knock someone down in this, so set it to room scale, use your footwork, and sidestep these nerds, and just grind it out and use your technique. It's just like fighting someone in real life. So another big question is, should you buy it now or should you wait for more? And for me, at the end of the day, I can safely say that this is the best PvP boxing that's available in VR at the moment. The mechanics seem fair and balanced. The graphics are simple and to the point, just like the old one. You can utilize real boxing techniques against your opponent in a way that makes sense and isn't arcadey. There's no voice chat at the moment, so you don't need to worry about your little fragile little ego getting bullied. I know some of you are going to be disappointed that this is only multiplayer, and I totally get that. What I do like about this, though, is that I'm trying to figure out the best way to put this, is like when you fight the opponents in the original Thrill of the Fight, and obviously they're not real. That they don't fight like real boxers. They kind of throw like punches and bunches, and then like they give you a lot. In this one, I feel like you have to fight more like a boxer to actually win. You can't just like I said, you can't just tee off. You saw me teeing off of Mateo, and it doesn't work. But yeah, you might be disappointed that there's no single player and that some of you don't like multiplayer. But I feel like this is going to draw a lot of people who care about boxing technique and not just about like spamming their way to victory. Because like I feel like you can't dog paddle your way to a win in this. I don't know. I haven't tried. I haven't fought any 9-year-old squeaky little boys on here. So that still remains to be seen. I could probably update the comments if if I end up doing it. I'm not sure why they made the choice to release it early access multiplayer only. Like I don't know what the rush is. Could be other games that are gonna release soon, and they wanted to get their toe in the water. I'm not really sure. But here's the good news. Now that it's here, I can tell you right now I'm going to be playing a lot more VR boxing. It's fun. It's does a lot more than PvP boxing has ever done. Remember my video about VR boxing and how it makes you worse? Well, I think now you have a chance to prove me wrong, and I think that video is going to be kind of a fossil now. So anytime you want, jump in with the old amateur retired MMA fighter and just add me on Horizon World or Facebook Horizon. I honestly, guys, I don't know. I feel like it changes every day. Every day. So just add me. We can start a custom match and like go to town. Again, if you need to talk to people though, you're gonna have to start a party call or use like Discord voice chat or something. So maybe I'll start a Discord where we can all meet up and fight each other. If that's something you'd be interested in, and you want to like meet up with other people who like really only want to box and not spam, let me know. I'll start a Discord. We can do some shit. My name is Ari with Fit Pro VR, and don't forget to get your VR boxing workout with another real life person in today. There's no resting. Yeah. 20 to win, 20 to fight, 40 to win. What? How? It's my only weapon. It's to make you dizzy.
Stop.
I'm trying to throw as hard as I can. Ooh. Ten seconds.
Hey, stop.
I need a prime. Where's my prime? How did you hit something?